So I'm going to start off today by telling you a very interesting story. So one day I'm on Twitter and one person comes onto Twitter and we start chatting. Somebody from Bollywood.
You have to say what I said.
I am. I'm going to
say that I said I was a fan of the show.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that. Okay. See, now that's what happens is that I didn't want to say. I wanted you to say it.
We started chatting. That's very modest.
Okay, now my whole story is pretty much gone, so I'll leave it here. One of the techiest people that I know in Bollywood is Sonam Kapoor, and she's here with me today. And that's exactly how we started. You said, you really love my show.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I said, I really love your movies. And then the whole Mutual Admiration Society came down to the fact that you're a real techie.
Yeah.
And off camera,
Yeah.
we've been sitting here for 10-15 minutes. We've been talking tech and nothing but.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off first by truly finding out from you. Why are you such a techie? Because you know, you've got this whole pressure on you to live up to one awesome performances. By the way, I loved your last movie.
Thank you.
Ranjana was awesome.
Thank you.
And the second is you have this whole iconic thing about, you know, how clothes and the way you become a fashion icon. These two I get.
Yeah.
What's the techie part doing? That's the third part of the triangle nobody gets.
I think everything is interrelated, honestly. Movies, obviously, it's movies is my job, is my life. And I initially started off wanting to be a filmmaker.
Okay.
So, you know, at that time we had the Avid and stuff like that.
Wow, okay.
So I've worked in the editing studio. I understand cameras. And obviously, so technology has always been a part of my life. It's a part of who I am as an actor. You need to understand camera. You need to understand lights, you know. And I'm like one of those like Kida people who likes to like figure
when you
everything.
Get into something you've got to go through the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah. So it's always been there. Even where fashion is concerned, it's all technology. You know that, right? The cuts, the new machines, the new embroideries, the new fabrics.
And the fact that you can actually wear 15 dresses without even changing from one to the other, the whole virtual reality and all.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
It's amazing. Yeah. But like since I was younger, I've always, you know, started with like, let's say the Sega and the Nintendo 64 and the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 and like, you know, going to the PlayStation and now.
Did you grow up in a house with too many boys?
Yeah, I had like brothers who liked to play WWF as opposed to me who thought that Mario Kart was the best game.
Okay, it actually is.
It is.
I've never played any WWE in every game, but I played Mario Kart forever and ever.
Yeah, I think it's
okay.
A good game.
So it's all it's been something that has been part of literally
growing
DNA now.
Because of that, I have like terrible eyesight, by the way. Because I'm always in front of the computer and I get into a game, I need to finish it.
So now we also heard the fact that you've just suddenly recently done up your entire room in the most techie way possible.
Yes.
So take me through, because see, for me, this is like a dream talk, right? You're going to tell me now all the stuff you have in your... Now that proves, okay, the fact that she is not as techie as we thought because the phone is still on. So you don't have a phone which kind of senses already. You're in an interview.
No, but you know what? This is one of these phones that actually, like for example, I've forgotten this phone somewhere. They have like this, where's this small remote thing that's there? You can keep it in your pocket. And you can also, like, for example, if I'm taking a selfie and I don't want to click like that, you can use the remote. So, for example, now I've left this phone in a restaurant and I'm like a couple of feet away from it. I don't know exactly how many feet. It starts going off, saying that.
Oh, so it'll tell you that, listen, you're leaving me behind.
So
don't abandon me, keep me with you. I've really built you up on the show, like techiest person from Bollywood, okay? Yeah. Tell me 3 things on this phone that you think really set this apart, that you have personally really loved. So let's start.
I like the back touch a lot, okay? Because I hate fingerprints on the phone.
Okay, so which basically means, just to explain to everybody, so it's instead of just using the front touch screen, if you want to scroll through or do stuff, you just kind of do the same thing at the back of the phone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's one thing you really love.
That's really, I like the rotating camera.
Okay. So you want to give a quick demo as to how that works? So
so it's camera, like that. So if you have to take a selfie, it's like that. So do you see that? That's me.
Yes.
And that's you.
Me, yes. Oh, cool. So we just swivel into.
Yeah, and then, you know, honestly, I think, and then instead of, like, for example, I have to take, okay, I clicked it from behind by mistake. So,
you did?
Yeah, I just clicked it from behind. And also there's like a signature touch that you can do. Okay. That's what I call it. I don't know what they call it.
Okay. So how does that work? What is it?
Okay, so basically, like, is there a certain app that I want to open? I can have like a signature touch for it. Like,
so if you want to go to your pictures, you just draw a P.
Or P or like a Z or whatever I think is appropriate, you know, and I like that.
No, I think, so I'll tell you what, can I just go and breathe a sigh of relief. So I said the techiest and you really did prove it. So in no way am I looking like, oh my God, I said that, but she did not live up to. You did better than I thought. So I'll tell you what, so we've been talking about the phone.
Yeah.
Let's show everybody what this phone can really do. So here then is our review, of course, with Sonam's input about the 3 things that she really loves and a few things that we really love on this brand new Oppo phone.
Oppo. They've been called the Apple of China. They make audio-video equipment that has been called the best in the world. And they have a portfolio of smartphones to rival all. And now they've made their debut in India with a bang. Getting superhero Krish Roshan and fashion icon Sonam Designer Kapoor, the Oppo team went into super hype and buzz mode with the launch of its first phone, the N1. This isn't a typical phone. You heard Sonam say it. Let's dive into some of the features, innovations and gimmicks that sets this phone apart. The N1 has a 13-megapixel rear camera and a 13-megapixel front camera. Yes, you simply swivel the camera around from the rear to the front. Helps you take better selfies. This should be a phone that Obama and the others would love to have. Practically all smartphones have a touchscreen these days. How about a phone with a touch-sensitive back cover? Yes, to change images or even menu pages, you can swipe the back. Works like magic, very innovative and no fingerprints on the front. This tiny device cum keychain can be paired to the phone with Bluetooth. If you forget your phone and leave it behind, the little remote starts to beep and your phone begins to ring. Works as a brilliant reminder and mobile tracker. Now back to some tech specs. The Oppo N1 is a 5.9-inch phablet with full HD display and a brilliant 373 ppi. The screen is a delight. Bright colors, crisp viewing angles and sharp contrast. The phone is big to hold and weighs 213 grams. Not very comfortable for single-hand usage. It is well built and sturdy with a premium feel to it. The phone runs on Color OS, which is based on Android 4.2 Jelly Bean OS and uses a 1.7 GHz quad-core chipset. The phone works smooth with speedy browsing and gaming. There are security service apps on the phone, such as Holiday Mode, that mutes calls when the screen is off. The Guest Mode limits access to personal information and apps when the phone is accessed by anyone else. To back up data and contacts, there is O Cloud. The O Click is used to connect the remote to the phone. It also works as a camera remote to click pics without touching the screen, and even a message reminder. Innovative stuff here. It has 2 GB RAM and 16 GB internal storage that cannot be expanded further. The big phone packs a battery to match. A super large 3610 mAh battery that lasts long. The Cell Guru verdict. The phone is a stunning debut for Oppo, but the price is a big dampener. Tagged very high at around 40,000 rupees, this is unlikely to be a choice for those looking for a high-end branded phone. Nevertheless, the features do make it stand out in the swarm and will help it be noticed. Can other companies wake up and do something different too?
Okay, that was our review, but back to Sonam. Now we'll have some little bit of I think it'll still be techie, but still more fun questions. So the first thing I have to find out is now that you've become a fashion icon and people do, is expectations from your own self a bit much every single time you step out, right?
Well, if in your 20s you're known as someone who's iconic, it's kind of like scary in a lot of ways. Someone's like, okay, giving someone a title like, oh, she's an icon, in whatever field it is. I think it's scary for me, but at the same time, I don't take it very seriously. And I really consider fashion as art. I think technology also needs, like, for example, that's why I like Steve Jobs as well so much, is because he considered everything that he did with an artistic expression.
True.
So, it was about it looking as beautiful and as perfect and as gorgeous as what the technology...
That's a great example to actually come up with, because he curated, he never really did anything which was like he invented it from scratch, but he took what he thought had great potential and perfected it and made it into an art
and
form,
it was an artistic endeavor, so I'm an artist. I appreciate art. I love art. Whether it's a painting on a wall or whether it's a phone or whether it's an outfit. So I don't look at it as something that I am. It's something that I love and I appreciate. So it's not only, that's why I call myself a geek, because I think geeks are cool people now.
everybody's a geek, right? And at this present moment, you're the coolest one because here you are a fashion icon and also a geek. You're breaking every myth that is actually associated with geeks. Okay, so now 2 more quick fire. So you're sitting at home, the bell rings, and the Oppo people walk in, okay? And they say, this is such a successful launch for us. We want now the Oppo Sonam Kapoor branded phone. Okay. What are the 1 or 2 things that you will insist that phone must have that truly exudes your personality into it? Because people will buy it because your name's on the phone.
What would I want which is not already there on the phone?
Maybe a feature. Look, I'll complete one part of it. It's got to look-wise.
It has to look
be,
beautiful.
oh my God, right?
Yeah, it has to obviously, that's one of the things that we live in a world which is very sensual. So it's all visual. It's there's everything that's sensory that makes sense. So I think something has to look beautiful and sharp and clean and nice. No, so
so it has to look awesome. That's one. That's a given.
Unbreakable.
Oh, it's unbroken.
Because I'm very clumsy.
Okay.
And nowadays, all technology is very delicate. Okay?
Yeah, but it comes with the fact that you want it to look really good.
No, but so it has to have both. It has to be a hardy phone which looks sleek and beautiful. I think my personality is someone who's very fashionable and stylish and whatever, but at the same time an extremely practical person. I'm not going to wear something that I'm uncomfortable in.
Okay.
So I think it
so
has to...
So you're also really tough?
I'm tough.
Okay.
I'm a tough person.
Okay. People really think that superhero movies are the new way to go.
Yes.
Now I need to know from you a fantasy superhero that you would love to play that we might just actually see you in very soon. I'm not saying that you've signed one. I'm saying one that you would love to.
I really love Batman,
Why is that? Because it's a dark, brooding character,
no, because
yet
I think,
a super action character?
I think in a lot of ways he's a real person.
Okay.
He's not some alien from outer space who's like, you know...
all these look through the wall and
yeah,
all
or he's like red laser like lights, or he's not been bitten by some like supernatural creature that makes him... You know, he's a real person.
So you just took out Superman and Spider-Man in one shot, okay?
I love Superman and Spider-Man, especially those red chaddis are very nice.
But you know, they took away the best part of him. He no longer wears the chaddis outside. What's wrong with him? He was a fashion icon and he gave that up. Okay. So one character that you would love to play, whichever way. Catwoman?
Oh, I love Catwoman.
Yeah, as I was asking the question, I was like, okay, I actually can see it here.
Yeah, I love Catwoman, you know. I like that there's something that's not entirely... I think she's very human. Yeah. You know what I mean?
She's a bit too vulnerable, though. She's a super emotional one.
Yeah, but I think people who are vulnerable actually, and who are open and sensitive and stuff like that, actually do have 9 lives. They always keep bouncing back. You know,
9 lives and Catwoman and all of that. Thank you so much.
Thank
Fantastic
you.
to take us through the phone, and the best of luck for...
I really like this phone. I'm going to make sure they make it in different colors.
Okay, and I'm going to make one confession. Usually whenever we have a celeb on the show, they have to say they really like the phone. But this is as genuine as it gets, okay? When the cameras were off, she totally loved it. And even when we're about to shut the cameras off, you still love it. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you for having this conversation with me.
Thank you very much.